God's chosen ones. Listen with your spirit, wide awake. This is no ordinary moment. Heaven has issued a decree, and it carries your name. The very voices that mocked you, laughed at your downfall, and whispered lies behind your back are about to face divine exposure. This isn't rumor. This is revelation. The same God who stood with Daniel in the lion's den and vindicated Joseph in Pharaoh's palace is about to pull back the curtain on every deceit spoken against you. Comment 777 if you feel that surge in your soul. Because this word is not random, it is alignment. To every one of you who has poured into this channel, whether through your prayers, your presence, or even through super thanks, know that your support is deeply cherished. You are part of this unfolding testimony, and heaven does not overlook your faithfulness. Stay right here, because in just a moment, you'll see how God's hand moves with surgical precision, turning humiliation into honor, and lies into stepping stones for your destiny. The unveiling begins now. God's chosen ones, watch how God exposes the lies of everyone who mocked you. Maybe the world never applauded when you chose love over bitterness, but heaven thundered with recognition. When vengeance could have shouted louder than any hymn, you whispered, forgiveness. And that whisper became an earthquake in the spiritual realm. Scripture declares, do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Romans 12:21. And you have been living that verse in silence. What if I told you that the choices you thought were hidden have been echoing in eternity, resonating like frequencies in a cathedral dome, amplifying in ways you cannot yet see? These echoes are not faint. They reverberate like the vibration of a struck tuning fork, carrying far beyond the moment into the architecture of forever. Even the angels have marked your decisions, archiving them in the eternal record of those who dared to choose mercy. Can you imagine the weight of such invisible applause? Heavier than the roar of any earthly crowd, you carry yourself with a spiritual integrity that refuses to bend before human applause. And just as Jesus said in Matthew 6:4, your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you. Can you sense how every secret decision has been carving a holy architecture, like a sculptor chiseling unseen columns of eternity? Even Michelangelo once said, I saw the angel in the marble and carved it until I set him free. Your obedience has been chiseling away at the stone of generational curses until something divine breaks through. Each strike of faith against stone is a frequency aligning with heaven's resonance, harmonizing like sacred chords that create new dimensions of possibility. This is not just personal growth, it is divine engineering, where heaven itself uses your silence as mortar for building eternal towers. Have you realized yet that you are not merely surviving, you are constructing a cathedral in the unseen realm? You have been breaking destructive cycles, cleansing bloodlines, and holding on to peace in arenas where rage was the native tongue. The psalmist reminds us, depart from evil and do good, seek peace and pursue it. Psalm 34:14. Like a tree that grows against the odds, pushing its roots through stone until it drinks from underground rivers. Your persistence in choosing peace has become a living testimony. Does it not stir you to realize that heaven sees every quiet act of healing you have offered? Even when no reward seems to follow, peace in your life has become like oxygen in a suffocating room. It expands silently, yet sustains life. Even storms that bend branches cannot uproot a tree whose roots grip deep into hidden waters. Your story is that tree, and your endurance is its fruit, nourishing those who once doubted you. You made healing decisions without contracts, without applause, without guarantees. Each time you stepped into mercy instead of malice. You laid down bricks for eternity's foundation. Hebrews 6:10 says, God is not unjust. He will not forget your work and the love you have shown him. Just as Beethoven's Missa Solemnis rises with sacred intensity from near silence to overwhelming glory, your hidden acts have been composing a divine symphony. One heaven will unveil in due season. And in that unveiling, the music will not just be heard, but felt, like vibrations through the bones of creation. Could it be that your quiet choices are shaping the soundtrack of redemption for your family line? Even the pauses, the rests, the silences in your life symphony are holy, because rests in music are not absence but preparation for thunderous crescendos. History itself bears witness. Nelson Mandela, a man once caged for 27 years, chose reconciliation over retaliation, declaring, "Resentment is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die." His decision transformed a nation. Does it not remind you of Joseph, betrayed by his brothers, yet proclaiming in Genesis 50:20, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good"? What if your silent choices are carrying the same weight of transformation for generations you cannot yet see? Every prison cell, every betrayal, every wound becomes like soil compacted by time, eventually turning into fertile ground for justice. The destiny of nations has turned on the hinge of one person choosing grace over vengeance. Is it not possible that heaven is using your life as that same hinge for others? And reflect also on the fate of the arrogant Diocletian, the Roman emperor who boasted he had crushed Christianity, built monuments to mock the faith. Yet, his empire crumbled, while the cross he despised still towers over the centuries. Is it not a warning that those who mocked your journey will find their own words turned into dust? Just as Proverbs 26:27 warns, whoever digs a pit will fall into it. The traps laid against you will become their undoing. Pride builds monuments of sand, but God raises altars of stone that endure. History does not bow to the mocker, it bends toward the faithful. Their downfall is not a matter of if, but when. For the law of sowing and reaping is as relentless as gravity itself. Ordinary lives reveal the pattern. A woman named Clara, unknown to the world, quietly raised her grandchildren after her daughter abandoned them. No cámaras, no recognition. Yet her love rewrote the destiny of that family. Could it be that your unseen acts are carrying the same generational power, rewriting history in silence? Just as Clara did in her small kitchen each morning with nothing but prayer and persistence, her legacy was not in wealth or status, but in the echo of lives forever changed. Small seeds of sacrifice, watered daily, eventually grow into forests of blessing. If Clara's hidden faith could transform generations, why would your obedience not ripple the same way into eternity? This is not about performance, nor about being admired for enduring pain. It is about being chosen to carry a resonance that shakes unseen kingdoms. And just as Handel wrote in Messiah, "And he shall reign forever and ever," your story has already been folded into the eternal reign of Christ. Rise, chosen one. The lies, the mockery, the silence, none of it defines you. Heaven has seen, heaven has recorded, and heaven has decreed. The time has come to stand. The curtain of history is parting, and your role has been written in heaven's script. Stand, because destiny has already prepared your crown. Stand, because your obedience has already disarmed the mockery. Stand, because God Himself has declared your vindication unstoppable. You are not being honored for blending in or for conforming to spaces that could not hold the weight of your calling. You are being honored because you rose with truth burning in your chest like an unquenchable flame. When storms raged and the wind howled to silence you, you chose authenticity over masks. And that choice became a sermon no pulpit could ever capture. Scripture whispers in Isaiah 43:2, when you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze. And your life is living evidence of that promise. Have you realized how extraordinary it is that in a world built to fracture souls, yours still chooses wholeness? That rare resilience is not emotion, it is a decision. It is a covenant. It is heaven's blueprint etched into the marrow of your bones. And every time you stood firm in that blueprint, you rewrote the mathematics of despair into the geometry of hope. Your story is like a constellation stars scattered across pain, yet forming a pattern only God could trace. Your power does not emerge from applause, but from the sacred act of returning again and again to love even after cruelty tries to scar your heart. Psalm 37:6 assures, He will make your righteousness shine like the dawn, the justice of your cause like the noonday sun. And is this not what your quiet choices have been radiating all along, like a river carving canyons through stone? Persistence makes a testimony out of silence, turning valleys into monuments. Can you sense how each choice not to repay evil with evil is a strike against darkness itself? This is no ordinary strength. It is the resonance of heaven vibrating through human weakness. It is the frequency of light that pierces the darkest chambers. And though the world may never give you medals, you are already wearing the invisible crown of endurance. Every scar on your soul has become like stained glass, refracting the light of God into colors no eye has ever seen. There is an untold sacred strength in those who can walk through fire and not mirror the flames that tried to devour them. Daniel stood in Babylon's furnace and emerged without the scent of smoke. Daniel 3:27. And in the same mystery, you have walked through betrayals that should have consumed you, yet carried no ashes of bitterness. What kind of power is this that turns wounds into rivers and scars into songs? It is the kind of strength that no textbook can define, no philosopher can pin down, and no critic can dismiss. Could it be that your very survival has become a testimony for generations unborn? A torch lit not just for you, but for every eye that watches from the shadows of despair. Even the silence of your journey carries the weight of prophecy. For silence itself is an instrument in heaven's orchestra. Your refusal to retaliate is like the pause in a symphony before the crescendo, pregnant with meaning, vibrating with holy inevitability. History confirms the holy pattern. Corrie ten Boom, a woman who endured the horrors of Nazi prisons, forgave her captors, later declaring, "Forgiveness is the key that unlocks the door of resentment." Her faith, like yours, was not formed in comfort but in crucibles. Joseph, abandoned by his brothers, still said, "God has made me fruitful in the land of my suffering." Genesis 40:1-52. And what if your pain, too, has become a seedbed where fruit no enemy can steal is ripening in silence? Grapevines crushed produce wine, olives pressed produce oil, hearts broken but not destroyed produce faith that alters history. Does that not ignite something fierce within you? knowing your struggle has already written symphonies of freedom for others. And just as Beethoven composed through deafness, unable to hear the very music he wrote, you too have created melodies of faith in silence, melodies that will outlive the noise of your trials. Heaven itself sings back your story as an eternal chorus, echoing far beyond the limits of your lifetime. Yet those who mocked such strength always face their reckoning. Think of Herod Agrippa, one who exalted himself as a god, only to be struck down and eaten by worms, Acts 12:23, before the very crowd he deceived. His arrogance became his undoing, his throne a tomb. Likewise, those who mistook your humility for weakness, those who sneered at your gentleness, will discover that mocking what is holy is like spitting against the wind. It returns with multiplied force. Pride may masquerade as power, but it collapses like a rotting tree when storms reveal the hollowness within. Their downfall is not a question of if, but of when. For justice is the gravity of God's universe. It cannot be defied forever. The same way a black hole consumes everything that tries to defy its pull, so too will divine justice swallow the arrogance of your enemies. Their laughter may have been loud, but history records silence as their final note. And when we search for symbols in creation, we see your reflection everywhere. A phoenix tree in the desert, though not the mythical bird, grows flowers brighter after fire passes its roots. A river dolphin swims, blind yet navigates flawlessly with unseen sonar, teaching us that vision does not require sight, but resonance. Even the alpine edelweiss, fragile and rare, blooms at heights where no other flower dares to survive. You are that rare blossom, that blind yet unstoppable swimmer, that tree that blooms brighter in adversity. Who else but God's chosen could embody such a paradox of fragility and invincibility at the same time? And have you noticed how the eagle, when storms come, does not flee, but rises on the winds to heights unreachable by predators? You too have learned to turn storms into wings. Creation itself testifies that the chosen cannot be broken, they can only be revealed. The truth is undeniable. Your faith was never born of comfort, never nurtured by ease. James 1:3 declares, the testing of your faith produces perseverance, and your very life is a cathedral built by storms. Its stained glass windows are cut from tears, its foundations hammered by betrayal, its bells tuned by waiting. Even silence has been sacred, because silence in a cathedral is not emptiness, but resonance waiting to burst into song. And you, whether you know it or not, have become a walking cathedral of God's glory, a temple that cannot be shaken. The architects of heaven have drawn your life into their blueprints, and the physics of grace ensures that no force of darkness can topple the structure you have become. Can you feel how the universe itself seems to bend toward those who refuse to bow to despair? You are not simply surviving, you are radiating frequencies of eternity. Rise now. The world may have mislabeled you, underestimated you, even mocked you, but heaven crowns you. Stand with the authority of one who has walked through fire, through betrayal, through shadows, and emerged, carrying light unextinguished. Stand because your scars are not symbols of defeat, but signatures of victory. Stand because heaven has already written your vindication into eternity's script. Rise, chosen one, and let the world witness the truth. You are not defined by the storm, but by the God who carried you through it. Every chain has already broken in heaven's courts, and now the earth must catch up to what has been decreed. Lift your head high, for your very breath testifies that mockery could not kill you and lies could not bury you. The time has come. The stage of history awaits your unveiling. It was carved out of the in-between, formed in the liminal spaces where nothing made sense and shadows seemed louder than promises. Yet you did not abandon the story. And that decision became the architecture of your breakthrough. Jeremiah 29:11 declares, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." And your persistence has been chiseling that future with hands no one else could see. Why does the blessing feel heavier now? More radiant? More precise? Because it is not just another tick in a cosmic cycle, it is the resonance of divine timing, colliding with the faith you refuse to bury. Like the hidden tension in a violin string before the bow draws its first note. Your waiting has been tuned for a sound that will shake atmospheres. Every delay was not a denial, but a calibration, fine-tuning your spirit to the exact frequency of destiny. And when destiny is tuned perfectly, even silence becomes a symphony waiting to explode. You earned this season in silence, through late nights when no human eye watched. Yet heaven recorded every tear as data in its eternal archive. Psalm 6:3, affirms, "You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book." Could it be that every sigh in the midnight hour was not wasted grief, but sacred ink writing your destiny? You held yourself with a discipline that looked like defeat to spectators who never grasped the science of restraint. Psychologists call it delayed gratification, but Scripture calls it sowing in tears, so you may reap in joy. Psalm 126:5. To those who mocked, your restraint was weakness. To heaven, it was proof of strength, more unshakable than steel beams in a cathedral. Even the laws of physics testify energy withheld is never lost. It is stored, and when released, it carries explosive force. This is why your hidden patience is about to erupt like a volcano whose fire was long concealed beneath the surface. And when it erupts, it will not destroy you. It will illuminate the landscape of your purpose. Through choices that made no sense on paper, but aligned perfectly with your spirit. You became like Abraham, leaving his homeland, obeying a command that looked absurd, yet birthed nations. Genesis 12:1-2. Your decisions did not follow the mathematics of logic, they followed the geometry of faith. Where angels, unseen, form structures eternal. The Apostle Paul wrote, "For we walk by faith, not by sight." 2 Corinthians 5-7. And your journey has been proof of that equation. How many times did people misread your silence, not knowing it was the stillness before the quake, the pause before the orchestra erupts? You were being shaped in the hidden workshop of heaven, where blueprints no human could draft were laid against the contours of your soul. Each sacrifice was like mortar poured into invisible foundations, setting pillars that will outlast centuries. And when heaven builds, it does not use fragile material. Your soul has been reinforced with eternal steel, forged in the fire of trial and tempered in the water of grace. Ordinary lives prove this truth. A woman named Marisol, working night shifts as a cleaner, saved her wages quietly for years to send her grandchildren to school. Neighbors dismissed her sacrifices as pointless. Yet decades later, those children became doctors and teachers who transformed their community. Her story, unseen and unsung, mirrors your own. Could it be that the light you've been cultivating in private will ripple outward with the same unstoppable force, rewriting not just your life, but the destiny of generations? just as seeds germinate underground before piercing the soil. Your hidden discipline has been germinating breakthroughs that will erupt in public testimony. And when that breakthrough arrives, it will not just bless you, it will create shade, fruit, and shelter for countless others. What once looked like insignificance will be revealed as legacy. And legacy is the true language of eternity. So now, something shifts. The threshold is crossed, the frequency changes, and the light you have nurtured in silence begins to ripple outward like concentric waves across an infinite ocean. Jesus said in Matthew 5:14, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden." Your time of hiddenness was not punishment, it was preparation, and preparation is never wasted. For even the quiet rehearsal of a symphony sets the stage for its thunderous premiere. Rise, chosen one. The trials cannot overshadow the truth any longer, and your silence has matured into a roar heaven itself cannot contain. Stand, because what you have carried in private is about to become the testimony the world cannot ignore. Lift your head as a lighthouse lifts its beam, cutting through storms, guiding others to safe shores. This is your unveiling, and heaven is declaring it unstoppable. The peace you once had to wrestle for now enters your life with less resistance, as if the air itself recognizes your survival and bows in reverence. People around you sense something they cannot articulate, a presence that unsettles their logic but comforts their souls. That is not chance, it is the fruit of a spirit that refused to collapse, the evidence of one who chose to keep walking when the valley threatened to devour them. Philippians 4:7 declares, "And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." And is this not what now radiates from you? Have you noticed how even silence feels different in your presence? As though stillness itself has learned a new song. This is no performance. It is the reward of endurance turned into atmosphere. The very molecules around you seem to vibrate with harmony, because perseverance alters not only destiny, but even the frequency of the environment. Peace is no longer something you chase, it has become the crown you wear. And yet, perhaps you still question it. Perhaps you still feel unworthy of goodness, arriving without a storm attached. Does joy still feel foreign to you? Like a dialect, you once spoke fluently but forgot after too many years in survival mode. That tension is part of the transition. Psalm 3:10, VC promises, "Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning." Could it be that your morning has already begun, even before your heart fully accepts it, like a spring bubbling beneath desert sand? Joy does not vanish simply because you forgot its sound. It waits patiently until you are ready to drink again, and heaven whispers that you are ready now. Every breath you take in this new season is like learning to breathe cleaner air after years in smoke. Joy is not foreign, it is your native tongue being restored, syllable by syllable. The blessings arriving are not because you performed your faith flawlessly or found the perfect phrases in prayer. Romans 8:26 reminds us, the Spirit Himself intercedes for us through wordless groans. Even in your stumbling prayers, God heard symphonies. What if the very doubts you thought disqualified you were actually invitations for God to show His steadfastness? Doubt did not cancel your destiny, it only magnified His faithfulness. Just as Abraham staggered in belief, yet was still called the father of nations, your hesitation has not undone your promise. Isn't it extraordinary that the Creator's loyalty to you has always been greater than your confidence in yourself? And the longer you walk, the clearer it becomes. Faith is not about perfect words, but about relentless return. Every misstep was still on the road to destiny. For even broken compasses eventually point north when the hand of God steadies them. History gives us echoes of this truth. Vincent van Gogh, the painter who wrestled with rejection and despair, once said, "What would life be if we had no courage to attempt anything, though he died in obscurity?" His art now illuminates the world, proof that perseverance in obscurity can bloom into eternal light. And is this not also your story, that what once seemed wasted will one day be celebrated? The fruit of your hidden endurance is ripening now, like the oak tree that grows silently for decades before it towers above the forest. Your time of invisibility has only been preparation for undeniable strength. Could it be that your hidden years were never wasted, but simply the deep rooting required for lasting growth? Even failure itself was soil, rich with minerals of wisdom, and your roots absorbed every fragment to strengthen the tree that is now rising. The arts declare this mystery. In Mozart's Great Mass, in C minor, there are movements where the choir whispers nearly to silence before exploding into triumph. Your life has mirrored this same divine composition, quiet, trembling pauses that set the stage for an unstoppable crescendo. Could it be that your hidden battles were not interruptions, but preludes to the music heaven was waiting to release through you? And if so, is it possible that what felt like delay was really God conducting you toward the perfect moment of unveiling? Every pause, every silence, every minor chord was necessary to magnify the brilliance of the finale. And now the finale approaches not as an ending, but as the thunderous declaration of what was written long before you were born. Creation, too, reflects your journey. The monarch butterfly, fragile and easily torn, migrates thousands of miles across storms to reach its destination, carrying beauty in wings that look too delicate to endure. The bamboo seed hides underground for years before breaking the surface, but once it emerges, it grows taller than any tree around it. Your peace is like that bamboo unseen, cultivated in silence, but now bursting forth unstoppable. Isaías 55 contra 12 declares, "You will go out in joy and be led forth in peace." And heaven confirms that this is your season of emergence. And just as rivers carve valleys not in days but in centuries, so too has your endurance shaped landscapes unseen. The waiting has not weakened you, it has made you timeless, as enduring as mountains and as fluid as water. And through it all, one truth remains unshakable, even when you doubted yourself. God never doubted you. 2 Timothy 2:13 declares, "If we are faithless, he remains faithful, for he cannot disown himself." His faith in you has always been greater than your faith in him. Rise now, chosen one. This is your coronation of peace, your morning of joy, your unveiling of strength. Stand, because storms no longer define you. Stand, because doubt could not bury you. Stand, because heaven has decreed that your story must shine. Lift your face like stained glass catching sunlight, and let the world see how the glory of God refracts through every fracture. For this is the hour when heaven's faith in you collides with your readiness to believe again. The divine knew exactly what it was doing when it placed that fire, that unbreakable essence, inside your body, when it gave you eyes that pierce beyond appearances, a heart that feels far deeper than the shallow current of culture, and a voice that carries more weight than you have yet to understand. It was heaven's architectural design. You are what healing looks like in motion, walking restoration. A living parable of Ezekiel 36 to 26. I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. You are integrity embodied in a world that worships performance and rewards masks. Is it not astonishing that in a society trained to chase applause, you have carried truth even in silence? You walk as one who remembers the source, even when the crowd has forgotten. And that remembrance itself shifts atmospheres. Like a lighthouse carved against stormy seas, you stand as a fixed point of orientation for those lost in chaos. Every movement you make is an act of divine alignment. The light you carry isn't just for you. It guides those still groping in the dark. It was no accident that your soul was born for this season. And yet, the path has not been easy, for sacred transformations rarely are. Jesus himself sweat drops of blood in Gethsemane, Luke 22:44, proving that even the Son of God wrestled in his becoming. How many nights have you spent unable to sleep? Your pillow soaked not with comfort, but with unspoken battles. How many mornings have you risen unwilling, carrying weight no one else could see? These were not wasted nights, but hidden workshops where heaven refined you. Could it be that every unanswered cry was in fact the chisel shaping your soul into a masterpiece? Psalm 126:5 reminds, those who sow with tears will reap with songs of joy. Your tears have been seeds, and the harvest is nearer than you know. Like a tree that withstands harsh winds but grows taller and stronger with every storm, your roots have dug deep, anchoring you in ways that no surface-level victory could. The storms didn't weaken you, they built you, layer by layer. Now the winds of those same trials will carry your story far beyond what you ever imagined. There were moments when retaliation seemed justified, when everything in you screamed for revenge. Yet instead you chose to release. That decision was not weakness, it was power cloaked in restraint. Romans 12:19 declares, do not take revenge, but leave room for God's wrath. And what is restraint if not the highest form of strength? Like a volcano that withholds eruption until the earth itself trembles. Your silence has been charged with holy energy. Does it not amaze you that your ability to release what tried to chain you has become the very key to your liberation? Every time you forgave, you cut the cords of generational bondage, and heaven recorded it as victory. Even the earth recognizes your release like the river that, when blocked, swells into a flood, but when freed, flows with greater force. The release of your pain was not weakness, but the kind of strength that transforms darkness into light. Nature itself testifies to this truth. The sequoia tree, among the oldest on earth, surviews lightning strikes, wildfires, and storms, yet continues to tower with majesty centuries later. The desert cactus stores water in hidden chambers, blooming radiant flowers in seasons when everything else withers. And the salmon, fragile and scarred, swims upstream against violent currents simply to bring forth new life. You are that sequoia, that cactus, that salmon resilient, unexplainable, chosen to defy the odds. Could it be that your scars are not signs of weakness, but sacred evidence of survival that turns into strength for those watching you? The salmon, born to swim against the current, shows us that true growth often requires us to push against resistance. Your resistance hasn't been wasted. It's been your training ground for a victory that will outlast every storm you've ever faced. Every scar you carry is a story of defiance against the odds. But let us not forget the fate of those who mocked such integrity. Think of Pharaoh, who hardened his heart against Moses and oppressed Israel. only to see his armies swallowed by the Red Sea. Exodus 14:28. His arrogance became his grave, his empire shaken to dust. In the same way, those who laughed at your tears, those who dismissed your sacrifice, will face the collapse of their own cruelty. Pride is a house built on sand. It stands tall until the storm comes, and then its fall is unavoidable. Their downfall is not a question of if, but of when. For justice is the gravity of God's universe. It cannot be defied forever. The pride may seem to stand tall for a moment, but they are nothing more than fragile towers built on false foundations. What seems to last a moment will crumble in the wake of God's justice. Their laughter has been their last echo, and your victory will rise above them like the sun after a long night. Ordinary lives carry this truth. A man named Samuel, a factory worker who quietly gave his wages to help a struggling neighbor, was mocked for his simplicity. Years later, that neighbor's child became a leader who transformed their community, crediting Samuel's hidden kindness as the seed of change. Samuel's name was never written in books, yet his legacy is written in eternity. Could it be that your hidden sacrifices, too, will ripple beyond your imagination, touching lives you will never meet? What if the very choices that felt invisible were the ones building your eternal crown? You may not see it now, but every small act of kindness, every moment of self-sacrifice, has been like a seed planted in fertile ground. Just as a small acorn becomes an oak tree that offers shade for generations, your unseen actions will one day be the shelter for those who come after you. This is your truth. You were not made to mirror darkness, but to embody light. John 1:5 proclaims, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." Every sleepless night, every restrained tear, every surrendered battle has been fuel for this moment. Rise now, chosen one. Stand as living evidence that pain cannot erase purpose, that silence cannot smother strength, and that faith, once planted, will always bloom. Stand, because heaven has already crowned you. Stand, because the world needs your story. Stand, because your becoming is unstoppable. This moment is not just about survival, it is about the unveiling of the divine power within you. Like the rising of a tide, your purpose is now swelling to its peak, unstoppable and fierce. And that version of you, the quiet warrior, the one forged in silence, is the very one heaven celebrates the loudest, not the flawless image the world demanded, not the polished mask you sometimes wore to survive, but the raw and unfiltered truth of who you are. It is the you that wrestled with shadows like Jacob at the river, limping yet blessed, Genesis 32:28. It is the you that stayed when every voice said run, the you that surrendered without quitting, bowing not in defeat, but in holy defiance. Does it not stir something within you to know that heaven has been cheering for the battle-worn you all along? You no longer need to beg for a seat at the divine table. You have already carved it with your endurance, your love, and your stubborn choice to keep walking when you had every reason to sit down. Every step you took in exhaustion was like laying down another brick in a temple unseen, one that now shines with the architecture of resilience. And what is a temple if not the meeting place of heaven and earth? That is what your life has become, a living sanctuary where divine strength dwells. And now, that seat is being prepared, not out of pity, but out of divine response. Psalm 23, contra 5 declares, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies." And this is the banquet being set before you now. Could it be that every hidden act of obedience was not wasted, but recorded as blueprints for this very moment? The God who tracked your tears, who watched your nights of wrestling, now places honor into your hands. This is not a favor given cheaply, it is a recompense. Honor is not handed out randomly, it is the natural resonance, the vibration of heaven answering the frequency of your perseverance. Like an orchestra tuned in secret before the curtain rises, your life has been resonating in preparation for this unveiling. And now the music begins. The spotlight shifts, and heaven announces that the quiet one has entered their season of recognition. Even angels marvel at the timing of your unveiling, for patience itself has ripened into glory. The silence that once felt like exile has become the stage of your coronation. So here you stand at the edge of a life that finally sees you, not as a forgotten footnote, but as the headline of a divine story. Isaiah 61:7 proclaims, "Instead of your shame, you will receive a double portion, and instead of disgrace, you will rejoice in your inheritance." Maybe it feels strange. Maybe you're not used to this ease, because chaos has been your native language for so long. Have you noticed how even blessings can feel heavy when you've only known burdens? The mind resists peace when it has memorized war, but peace has come anyway. Like an athlete who has trained endlessly in shadows, your muscles of endurance now carry you into arenas where the cheering feels unfamiliar. This is the paradox of glory you fought for, survival. But God prepared you for abundance, and abundance requires new muscles, the muscle of receiving, the muscle of resting, the muscle of believing that joy belongs to you. Could it be that heaven is now teaching you a new rhythm, one where your heart finally beats in time with grace? Ordinary lives tell this same story. A woman named Eliana, a single mother who scrubbed hospital floors through endless nights, once told her children, "I may not have much to give, but I will give you tomorrow." Years later, those children built a clinic in her honor, blessing the very community that once overlooked her. Could it be that your hidden sacrifices, too, are building futures you cannot yet see? Just as Eliana's mop became her scepter, your perseverance has been the throne on which honor now rests. Heaven does not measure greatness by applause, but by endurance. And you have already passed that test. And what is legacy if not the echo of small acts multiplied across generations? Your unseen choices today are laying down roads for feet you may never meet. This is greatness, the kind that will outlast applause and carve permanence into eternity's memory. Creation reflects this truth. The pearl, born in irritation and darkness, becomes a treasure of immeasurable worth. The mountain, formed by tectonic collisions, stands immovable centuries after the shaking has stopped, and the aurora, painted by invisible solar winds colliding with the atmosphere, proves that beauty can be birthed out of unseen struggle. Could it be that your story, too, has been shaped by collision, pressure, and resistance into something the world cannot ignore? Romans 8:18 declares, "The present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us." Your trials were not your tomb, they were your transformation chamber. Even physics bears witness. Pressure creates diamonds, resonance creates music, and resistance builds strength. And is it not breathtaking to realize that the very forces that tried to crush you have become the elements that crowned you? And here is the unshakable truth. The God who never abandoned you is now crowning you. Yksi Peter 5:10 promises. After you have suffered a little while, the God of all grace, will himself restore you and make you strong, firm and steadfast. Rise now, chosen one, stand, because you are the proof that scars are not shame, but signatures of survival. Stand, because your honesty has already defeated the lie of perfection. Stand, because your honor is not borrowed, it has been built. The time of hiddenness is over, and heaven has written your unveiling into eternity's script. Lift your head, for the crown is already resting upon it, and walk forward as one who carries both history and destiny in your stride. This is not the end of the story, it is the beginning of your reign. To doors opening without a fight, to opportunities that no longer require you to bleed, just to prove you are worthy, to people finally recognizing your value without demanding you first parade your pain. This is the turning of the tide, and it is no accident. Isaías 22 declares, what he opens, no one can shut, and what he shuts, no one can open. Can you sense it, the strange freedom of walking into a season where grace does the heavy lifting? It's your turn now, not just to taste peace, but to drink joy in overflowing measure. Not just to survive, but to expand into the life that has been waiting for you. Because there is a chasm of difference between getting by and being blessed, and for too long, endurance has been your anthem. What if heaven is now rewriting your anthem into triumph? What if the years of pressing have been only the prelude to an uncontainable release? Every sacrifice has been like a note written into heaven's song, and now the melody is reaching its crescendo. But this is not a shift triggered by the clock's ticking. It is the moment when alignment collides with identity. Romans 8:28 assure. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him. Could it be that all the fragments of your story are finally snapping into place like pieces of a divine mosaic? You are not entering blessing because enough time has passed. You are entering because heaven's architecture has finished preparing the room that matches your name. When your soul stops shrinking just to avoid notice, when you remember that light was never designed to be hidden, then the expansion begins. Matthew 5:14 reminds, you are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. And is it not striking that the very thing you once feared your presence shining too brightly is now the very assignment God has entrusted to you? Even your scars, once hidden in shame, now glimmer as proof that glory can rise out of brokenness. Even your silence, once mistaken for weakness, is revealed as the soil where strength was cultivated. And make no mistake, your presence is powerful. 1 John 4:4 proclaims, the one who is in you is greater than the one who is in the world. You are not just a candle flickering in someone's darkness. You are a torch igniting the path forward. Your very atmosphere carries weight, because identity aligned with truth generates influence that no enemy can silence. Does it not amaze you that heaven designed you to break chains simply by being who you are? What once felt ordinary about you was never ordinary at all. It was preparation for authority. What once felt overlooked was only hidden to be revealed at the appointed time. Now the weight of your presence carries healing for others. Just as Peter's shadow once healed the sick, Acts 5:15. You may have underestimated yourself, but heaven never has. History whispers the same message. Mother Teresa, a woman who held no worldly power, once said, not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love. Her presence in forgotten streets shifted nations' conscience. And in another quiet story, a man named Daniel, a janitor in a forgotten school, would pray daily in the hallways after cleaning. Decades later, Teachers testified that his prayers had carried the school through violence and poverty. Could it be that your power also lies not in spectacle, but in the consistency of your unseen strength? Every breath you release in alignment is a seed heaven waters. The hidden offerings of your life are already echoing into futures you will never see. And when eternity writes the record, your seemingly small choices will read as monumental victories. Creation itself affirms your shift. The pearl, born in irritation and darkness, becomes a treasure of immeasurable worth. The mountain, formed by tectonic collisions, stands immovable centuries after the shaking has stopped, and the aurora, painted by invisible solar winds colliding with the atmosphere, proves that beauty can be birthed out of unseen struggle. Could it be that your story, too, has been shaped by collision, pressure, and resistance into something the world cannot ignore? Romans 8:18 declares, "The present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us." Your trials were not your tomb, they were your transformation chamber. Every weight pressed against you was a tool in the sculptor's hand. Every pressure that seemed unbearable was carving out the vessel of honor you are becoming. Even the storms that once terrified you will one day serve as testimonies of the God who brought you through. This is the unshakable reality. Your season of hiding is over. The alignment of heaven and the identity you nearly abandoned have met at last. Jeremiah, Nelia tunelia le promises. For I know the plans I have for you, and those plans are no longer distant. They are breaking ground beneath your feet. Rise now, chosen one. Stand, because you were never meant to crawl through life unnoticed. Stand, because your light was never meant to be dimmed. Stand, because the world is waiting for the fire that only you carry. Your presence is not an accident, it is a testimony. Your scars are not stains, they are signatures of survival. And your unveiling is not delayed, it is unfolding in this very hour. You are living proof that a soul can be both soft and unbreakable, tender yet unshatterable, fragile in feeling yet forged like steel in spirit. Scripture declares in 2 Corinthians 4:8-9, "We are hard-pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not abandoned, struck down, but not destroyed." Is it not astonishing that though life attempted to break you, you rose again, carrying both the tenderness of compassion and the strength of endurance? You are evidence that someone can lose everything, stand amid ruins, and still build again without letting bitterness become the foundation. Like Job, who after losing his family, wealth, and health still declared, "Though he slayed me, yet will I hope in him." Job 13:15. You chose to rebuild when despair tried to bury you. Could it be that your greatest power is not in what you gained, but in the grace with which you endured what tried to destroy you? You carry the kind of grace that unsettles pretenses, the kind of truth that doesn't need to shout to be heard because it carries its own weight. Jesus himself said in John 8:32, "Then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." And what happens when your life becomes a mirror that makes others question their masks? Your quiet authenticity has been a rebuke to performance-driven culture. Isn't it extraordinary that the light of your honesty convicts without condemnation, pulling people out of pretense and into reality? You stand as a reminder that truth doesn't need an army, it needs endurance. Like a river carving through stone over centuries, your presence shifts atmospheres silently, but with unstoppable force. Every scar on your soul has become a sermon, every sigh a psalm, Every step forward, a declaration of freedom. And now the universe, or rather the God who designed it, is answering you back, not only in subtle signs and whispers, but in undeniable, tangible shifts. Isaiah, Kalin Tefintel, Tukdenete, promises. See, I am doing a new thing, now it springs up, do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. Opportunities are beginning to chase you down instead of you chasing them. Relationships no longer drain you just to prove your worth. They refresh you because they recognize it. Paths once blocked are now clearing before your feet. Could it be that the delay was never denial, but divine timing preparing you for this exact unveiling? And do you feel how different this moment is, not because the road has suddenly become easy, but because you have become ready, like a hawk that learns to ride the wind rather than fight it? You have discovered the art of soaring, where once you only survived. You did not skip steps to get here. You lived every painful inch of this story, and heaven took note. Galatians 6, contre 9 reminds, let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Every tear, every setback, every night of questioning was part of the sacred curriculum. Isn't it powerful to know that even when you thought you were merely surviving, you were being trained for resilience? And isn't it breathtaking that the same road which nearly killed you has now crowned you with wisdom? But let us pause and recall the fate of those who mocked endurance. King Belshazzar, who desecrated sacred vessels and exalted himself in arrogance, saw the hand of God write his downfall on the wall. And that very night his kingdom was taken from him. Daniel 5:30-31. His pride, his mockery, became his own undoing. Likewise, those who scoffed at your journey, who dismissed your quiet strength, will discover that arrogance is always a self-dug pit. Proverbs 26:27 declares, whoever digs a pit will fall into it. Their scorn was never the final word, your survival is. Could it be that their laughter was only fuel for your vindication? Every jeer was a brick in their own downfall. While your endurance was the cornerstone of your rising, their words now echo back like empty cymbals. While your testimony resounds like a trumpet of victory, what they meant for harm has become evidence of your divine protection. Nature sings the same song. The olive tree thrives in rocky soil where others wither, yet produces the oil that fuels lamps and anoints kings. The diamond, buried in pressure and darkness, emerges brilliant after enduring unimaginable weight. The phoenix palm bursts through desert heat with fruit sweeter than that grown in comfort. Your journey is no different. The harshest environments produced the richest fruit within you. And now, what was hidden underground is bearing fruit for the world to see. Isn't it powerful to realize that pressure and resistance were never enemies, but midwives of your greatness? Could it be that the wilderness you once despised was the very ground where your roots ran deepest, like rivers that carve valleys over centuries? Your pain has shaped landscapes of wisdom in your soul. What others thought would bury you has instead crowned you. This is the undeniable truth. You owe no explanation for your scars, because your very existence is the explanation. You are not here by accident, you are here by decree. 1 Peter 2:9 declares, you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession. Rise now, chosen one, stand, because your story is the sermon. Stand, Because your endurance is the evidence, stand. Because heaven is already clapping over you, and the earth must catch up to what heaven has declared. This is not your apology, it is your announcement. Your unveiling has come, and nothing can silence it. Every scar is a seal, every wound a witness, every breath a banner declaring your survival. Isn't it astonishing that the very things they mocked have become the proof that you are unstoppable? Your unveiling is not coming someday, it is breaking forth now. Written in heaven's ink and sealed with God's authority. You don't have to parade your scars for them to respect your strength. Because true power is not in the wounds displayed, but in the resilience that cannot be denied. Salm 50:6 contra 8 declares, You have kept count of my tossings, put my tears in your bottle, are they not in your record? God was counting when no one else was. And heaven's archive holds every sigh, every moment of silence that others overlooked. You don't owe anyone your journey as proof of your destination, because God Himself witnessed it all. Let them wonder. Let them question how you managed to rise from ashes without bitterness, how you stepped into fullness when they expected collapse. Isn't it profound to realize that the one who matters most already validated you long before the crowd knew your name? Your private decisions not to return to crumbs when you were born for a feast have been the architecture of your honor. Each act of restraint has been like a beam placed in the cathedral of your destiny, unseen but vital, silent yet unshakable. God saw you in every whispered prayer. In every moment, you clenched your spirit against retaliation. In every quiet choice to grow beyond the version of you that begged for acceptance. Isaiah isnam bisies promises. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. Could it be that your restraint, which seemed invisible to men, has been a frequency vibrating louder in heaven than the shouts of your enemies? Your unseen sacrifices have created a resonance that drew heaven's attention like a bell struck in silence. What if every moment you thought was wasted was actually constructing the resonance chamber of your future? You were not overlooked, you were recorded. And every hidden yes became a line of divine music written across eternity. You have grown in a way no algorithm can capture, no lens can truly display. Ephesians 3:20 affirme. Now to Him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, growth that is spiritual cannot be measured by metrics, likes, or followers. It is measured in strength of character, in wisdom refined by fire, in discernment sharpened like a double-edged sword. Have you noticed how your core has expanded? Not outwardly, but inwardly, with foundations that no storm can shake. Psychology calls it resilience. Physics might call it structural integrity, but Scripture calls it endurance. Isn't it astonishing that you have become an immovable force, not by hardening, but by deepening? You are proof that the strongest structures are not the tallest, but the ones whose foundations run deepest into bedrock. And from this moment forward, the world is going to feel different. Not because the world suddenly shifted, but because you did. Romans 12 contra 2 declares, Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Your discernment is sharper, your spirit trained like an athlete entering the decisive round of a match. You no longer entertain what drains you, no longer chase what confuses you, no longer bargain with false energy just because it comes disguised as opportunity. Isn't it powerful to know that discernment itself is proof of maturity? Like an eagle that refuses carrion and waits only for living prey. You have learned that not every open door is a divine door. Could it be that your refusal to accept what is beneath your calling is the very key unlocking what belongs to you? Every no you declared to the counterfeit has been a yes to your true inheritance. Every moment of restraint has been the sharpening of your sword for battles only you were meant to win. What once felt like loss now reveals itself as strategy, heaven's design for your protection. Ordinary lives echo this truth. There was a bus driver named Rosa who saved a portion of her meager wages each month to pay the fees of children in her neighborhood who couldn't afford school. She never broadcast her sacrifice. She simply drove her bus and carried her secret generosity. Decades later, one of those children became a judge who transformed justice in her city. And in his speech he said, "I sit here because a woman who drove a bus believed I could learn. What if your unseen sacrifices, like Rosa's, are already building futures that will outlive your name? What if the private discipline you held is already shifting nations you may never set foot in? Heaven has always measured greatness not by titles but by the ripples of obedience that spread across time. Could it be that the acts you thought were too small to matter are already echoing in eternity's record? Your hidden faithfulness is proof that legacy does not begin on stages but in secret places. This is your truth. You are not the same, and you never will be again. Yksi Peter viisi, 10 promises. After you have suffered a little while, the God of all grace will himself restore you and make you strong, firm and steadfast. Rise now, chosen one. Stand, because you don't need to justify your survival. It is justification enough. Stand, because your silence was never emptiness, but sacred construction. Stand, because discernment has become your crown and maturity, your throne. The world may question, but heaven has answered, and its verdict is final. Your time has come, rise and reign. And when you rise, you do not rise alone. Generations ascend with you. When you reign, your authority stretches further than you realize, carrying weight into realms both seen and unseen. Isn't it awe-inspiring to know that your transformation is not just personal, it is prophetic? A signal fire to the world that God's chosen cannot be silenced. You have finally learned what peace truly feels like. And that revelation is why you no longer bow to the chaos that once masqueraded as normal. John 14:27 declares, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives." Is it not remarkable that what once felt like home constant noise, endless storms now feels foreign to your spirit? This is not arrogance, for you are not above anyone. It is humility in its highest form, because you have stopped shrinking beneath the weight of yourself. That is the essence of spiritual maturity, and contrary to what many think, it is not a grand arrival, but the daily, quiet refusal to cave in to compromise when compromise would have been easier. Could it be that true growth is not measured in leaps, but in the countless small steps that no one saw but heaven recorded? Every hidden choice became a seed, and those seeds have now germinated into the garden you walk through today. Maturity has shaped you in silence, where battles were fought and victories looked invisible. James 1-4 reminds us, "Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." Isn't it extraordinary that you now carry a deep knowing that your value does not fluctuate with recognition, applause, or validation? You no longer hinge your worth on whether others see you, for God saw you first, and that was always enough. Like David anointed in the pasture while forgotten by his family, 1 Samuel 16:11-13, your calling did not need the world's permission. Can you feel how liberating it is to know that no human eye can alter what heaven already decreed? Every compromise you resisted was another hidden yes that heaven treasured as a monument of your faith. And those yeses, strung together, have become the silent hymn of your destiny. And now, the rewards of that refusal are not merely coming, they are already here. Galatians 6:9 affirme, at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. The harvest shows itself in the way your body feels safer to live in, as though peace itself has taken residence in your skin. It appears in the way your spirit feels less scattered, less frantic, and more anchored in eternity's rhythm. Could it be that the greatest reward is not what enters your hands, but the freedom that rests in your soul? You no longer need to be understood to feel whole, because wholeness is no longer borrowed, it is embodied. This is the maturity of one who has passed through fire and come out refined like gold. Zechariah 13:9. The proof is not in what you hold, but in what you've become. History echoes this truth. The Italian artist Fra Angelico, often called the painter of angels, said little about himself, yet his art illuminated cathedrals with a heavenly glow that drew generations closer to God. His greatness was not in self-promotion, but in quiet devotion that spilled onto canvas. Could it be that your life, too, is painting cathedrals for generations who will one day stand in the glow of your perseverance? The arts sing this mystery. In the hymn, "Be Thou My Vision," the lyrics whisper, "Riches I heed not, nor man's empty praise. Thou mine inheritance now and always." These words, sung centuries ago, now echo in your story. You no longer measure your worth in applause, but in inheritance eternal. Could it be that the hidden years were not punishment, but preparation, shaping you so deeply that storms no longer have permission to move you? And here is the truth written in heaven's decree. Philippians 1-6 promises, "He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus." Rise now, chosen one. Stand, because you are not defined by what tried to break you, but by what built you in silence. Stand, because peace has become your inheritance and maturity, your crown. Stand, because the time has come for your quiet strength to roar. What you carry is no longer hidden, your unveiling is here. Because the reward is not merely what is about to fall into your hands, it is who you became in the waiting. The person sculpted by fire, silence, and endurance. Romans 5:3-4 proclaim, "We glory in tribulations also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience, and patience, experience, and experience, hope." Let that revelation pierce you. The true treasure is not the prize, but the transformation. This is not simply the start of a new chapter, it is the unveiling of a different book entirely. The laws are rewritten, the atmosphere has shifted, and the former rules no longer apply. Could it be that the one who once begged for approval has finally been buried, and a new author has risen in their place? The you who mistook loyalty for self-betrayal no longer grips the pen. That pen is now in your hand, steady and unshakable, and the ink is the very blood of endurance. And the hand that holds that pen was kissed by God before it even knew the power it carried. Jeremiah 1:5 declares, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." Do you realize that before your first breath, heaven had already entrusted you with the authorship of a story no enemy could erase? The same hand that trembled in weakness has now been anointed with strength. Isn't it staggering to realize that the very moments you thought disqualified you were rehearsals for your reign? Write boldly, because heaven has already signed its name across your pages. Live truthfully, because deception has no jurisdiction over you anymore. Choose with confidence, because your choices echo beyond time, inscribed into eternity itself. Could it be that every decision you made in darkness was already painting the dawn you now stand in, not because you never failed, but because every fall was a rehearsal for your rise? Proverbs 24 gegen 16 reminds us, for though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again. Each stumble was choreography, teaching your spirit how to move when the stage of destiny finally lit up. Every heartbreak was an excavation, digging deeper wells where living water now flows. Every lonely night became a classroom where God Himself was the teacher, whispering wisdom that crowds could never give. Isn't it breathtaking to see how nothing was wasted, not even the ashes, not even the silence, like the desert that looks barren but secretly births rivers beneath its surface? Your life carries hidden reservoirs waiting for release. Could it be that what seemed like loss was actually the mathematics of heaven, multiplying your strength in disguise? And every time you started again, even while bleeding from the last ending, it was all counted. It was all held. Psalm 56:8 testifies, "You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book." Heaven was never indifferent. It was keeping record with meticulous precision. Each tear was a seed, each sigh a song, each restart another line in the great composition of your destiny. Yet we must remember those who mocked such perseverance. Cain, who despised his brother Abel's offering, allowed jealousy to consume him and became cursed. A wanderer with no home, Genesis 4:12. His story is a warning. Resentment turns strength into exile. Could it be that those who ridiculed your persistence will one day choke on the fruit of their scorn? While you feast at the table God has set, divine justice is as sure as sunrise, and your vindication will be public. Nature itself reveals this mystery. The oyster, wounded by grain and grit, produces the pearl that kings treasure. The storm-tossed cliffs, battered endlessly by waves, stand tall as monuments carved by the very forces meant to destroy them. The cicada, buried for years beneath the soil, emerges not weaker but carrying a song so loud it fills forests. Could it be that you too were hidden not to be diminished, but to emerge with a resonance no one can ignore? Isaiah 61:3 confirms that God grants beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, and a garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. Every hidden season was not subtraction, but refinement. And now the verdict is undeniable. The story is yours. The pen is in your hand, and heaven has already endorsed the ending. Philippiens 1:6 assure, "He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion." Rise now, chosen one. Stand, because your scars are no longer shameful. They are signatures of survival. Stand, because your waiting was not in vain. It was preparation for unveiling. Stand, because the world is waiting for the book only you can write. This is your hour, your coronation, your decree live. It boldly. It was all holy. Every tear, every trembling step, every choice to rise, when falling felt easier, because God is proud of you for persisting in His presence. Psalm 16:11 declares, You make known to me the path of life. In your presence there is fullness of joy. You were not celebrated because you never knew fear. You were celebrated because despite fier. You moved anyway. Isn't it profound that the very moments when your knees shook became the proof of your courage? The divine has been watching, not with indifference, but with delight. And heaven's applause has already been echoing through eternity. Could it be that your story is not one of mere survival, but of consecration? Every act of perseverance becoming a sacred offering before the throne. Every step forward was like incense rising in the temple courts. Every sigh of trust like a psalm sung in secret. Heaven marked those moments as victories, though the earth may have dismissed them as small. What looked ordinary to men was extraordinary in the eyes of God. You have earned more than survival. You have earned honor, and it has arrived in this very hour. 1 Samuel 2:30 declares, "Those who honor me, I will honor." What greater reward could there be than for the Creator himself to bestow dignity upon you? Honor is not simply a medal placed upon your chest. It is the resonance of heaven vibrating through your identity. Like an architect unveiling a cathedral designed in silence, God now unveils the structure of your life as testimony. Isn't it astonishing that what once looked like rubble has been revealed as blueprints for glory? What if the hidden scaffolding of your pain was always preparing you for this unveiling? Every unseen prayer has been a beam, every act of forgiveness a pillar, every silent night of worship a cornerstone. Even your failures have become stained glass windows, refracting divine light into colors that testify of grace. Even your wounds have become arches, bending but unbroken, forming part of the eternal architecture. The divine honor you now carry is not abstract, it is tangible, it is weighty, and it shifts atmospheres. Revelation colme, cardex and promises. See, I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut. Doors swing open not because the locks disappeared, but because your perseverance carried the key. Could it be that the honor resting on you is not just for yourself, but for those who will encounter you? Like the tuning of an instrument, your frequency has been recalibrated to resonate with heaven's pitch, and the world cannot help but feel the vibration. Isn't it breathtaking that the applause of heaven can shake the foundations of earth? You are walking proof that divine justice is not delayed, it is precise. The very air around you bears witness, for your presence shifts rooms, disarms hostility, and awakens hope. This weight of honor is not meant to crush you, but to crown you. Not to confine you, but to release you into greater assignments. Ordinary lives reflect this truth. A woman named Clara, a seamstress in a forgotten town, spent decades stitching clothes for children in need, never seeking recognition. One day, a young boy she clothed grew into a leader who changed laws to protect the vulnerable. And in his speeches, he often whispered, "I was covered by grace because someone cared enough to cover me." Clara never received headlines, but heaven recorded her faithfulness. Could it be that your hidden persistence, like hers, has already been shaping generations you will never meet? What if the true measure of your greatness is written in lives transformed quietly by your obedience? Faithfulness is the ink of legacy, and obedience is the pen that writes eternity's record. What others call insignificant, God calls immortal. Perhaps your quiet sacrifices have been the very sparks igniting torches in the hands of those who come after you. And now gratitude flows like a river. Philippians 1:3 says, "I thank my God every time I remember you." Thank you for walking this journey, for holding on when surrender seemed easier, for being part of a testimony larger than either of us imagined. But this is not the end, it is the coronation. Rise now, chosen one. Stand, because fear has no chains left on you. Stand, because honor is no longer a distant promise, but a present reality. Stand, because heaven is already applauding, and the earth is about to echo it. This is your unveiling, claim it boldly. The story that began in shadows is ending in light, and the crown that once seemed far away now rests upon your head. Do not hesitate, for hesitation belongs to the old you. Boldness is the mantle you wear now. Rise, walk, and let your very existence thunder God's victory into the earth. Beloved, chosen ones, let this truth be engraved in your spirit. The same God who heard your silent prayers, who collected every tear, will not allow the lies spoken against you to stand. As it is written in Luke 12:2, there is nothing concealed that will not be disclosed, or hidden that will not be made known. The time of exposure has come. Those who mocked you, those who twisted your story, will see the hand of God reveal the truth in broad daylight. And what once was whispered against you will collapse under the weight of heaven's justice. Your honor was never in their words, it was always in God's decree. That is why you are still standing. That is why your life continues to rise like a testimony no one can silence. Remember, when Joseph was mocked by his brothers, their betrayal became the very road that carried him into destiny. Could it be that the very mockery you endured has been the divine tool sharpening your crown? Take courage, for your story is not ending in shame, it is unfolding in glory. If this word has stirred your spirit, I invite you to engage. Like this message, share it with those who need it. Comment 777 as a declaration of faith, and subscribe so you won't miss what heaven continues to release on this channel. Every interaction helps this message reach more of God's chosen ones across the world. From the depths of my heart, I want to thank you, not only those who support me through super thanks, but every single one of you who faithfully watches, listens, and walks with this community. Your presence here is already a gift. And now, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May His light expose every lie spoken against you and clothe you in undeniable truth. May peace fill your homes, strength fill your hearts, and may the days ahead testify that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. You are God's chosen ones. Rise, walk in truth, and shine.